everyone. I'm Crystal, and this is Kim, and we are Style and Soul Boutique. What makes us so special is our story. Kim is the stepmom to my oldest daughter, Brooke. Around the time that we met, I was living in the city with my twins, unable to see Brooke as much as I wanted to because she lived on Cobb with Kim and her dad. Kim kindly offered to let the twins and I start spending weekends in her home. I was really able to get to know Kim during this time, and I could see how much she really loved Brooke. As a mom, it was very comforting to me to know that when I couldn't be with my daughter as much as I wanted to be, she had another mother figure in her life who loved her just as much as I did. I was eventually able to move to Lake County from the city, and Kim really opened her heart and home to me and my twins and gave us a real family. We had dinners together, we would babysit each other's children, and eventually we spent every holiday together. When I decided that I wanted to have my own online boutique, I didn't really know how I was going to do that. I was a single mom working full-time in a low-income apartment on food stamps. Kim was one of the first people I told, and she was one of the few people who believed in me right away. I asked Kim if she would host pop-ups for me because I had to work, and she agreed to do that for free. She really fell in love with helping people shop and with styling them, and I got to see that people really love to see the clothes in person, so maybe I needed to have a brick and mortar and not just an online boutique. That brings me to New Year's Day, 2017. I was driving with Brooke through St. Helena and I saw a space for lease. I pulled over and I said to Brooke, "I'm gonna call this realtor." And she said, "But Mom, you don't have any money for a space." And I said, "That's true, but she doesn't know that." So I called the realtor and I ended up making an appointment to meet with her 5 days later. I got off the phone with the realtor and I called Kim right away and I said, "You are not gonna believe what I just did."
I told her it couldn't hurt to find out what it would take. I was nursing a newborn. I had recently lost my home in the Valley Fire, and my boss had just informed me that he would take me back at the same rate of pay. However, he'd hired someone else to take over my managerial position, which I'd held for 5 years, because he didn't think I could handle all of my duties with a newborn. So I called my dad and I said, "What Crystal is doing is really fun and exciting and inspiring, and I knew that she was going to accomplish it one way or the other. But I wanted to partner with her, and if he could make us a small loan to get us started, I believed we could be very successful." And he agreed. So I called her and I asked her if I could be her partner. She said, of course. So I went with her to that appointment that Friday. They wanted us to provide financials, a tax returns, a business plan. We didn't have any of these. So we got together that night and we wrote a business proposal and sent it to the landlord. He asked to meet with us. He said he loved our story. He thought our proposal was very unique for the area, and he could see that we had so much passion and drive that he decided to take a chance on us. We got to open our first boutique on April 1st, 2017 in St. Helena. The first 2 years, me and Crystal worked, just me and her, sometimes even bringing our children to work with us. There was a devastating wildfire, power shutoffs, and even building construction on our unit. Despite all of that, we managed to save up enough in those 2 years to open a second location in Lakeport. When that space became available, we knew we had to jump on it. It had previously been a boutique, and Crystal had even worked there for a period of time, so we knew how successful it could be. About a month shy of our 1-year anniversary in Lakeport, the pandemic hit and we were forced to close our doors. At that time, we decided to close St. Helena permanently. It was really our Lake County customers who rallied around us and carried us through all the hardships we had been facing as a small business. Fires, power shutoffs, and now a pandemic. They are the reason we are still here. They really allow us to live our dream. We know that Lake County needs us as much as we need them.
So why a Style and Soul Boutique? We really care about our customers. Maya Angelou's quote, "People will forget what you did and they will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel," is the essence of our customer service. We want people leaving our boutique feeling so much better than when they walked in. We really believe that Style and Soul Boutique is not just a place you come to shop, it's a place you come to find community, to build friendships and create relationships. We have a loyalty program for our customers as a way for them to earn discounts when they shop. We saw a huge need for plus size, so we carry sizes extra small up to 3X. As moms ourselves, we wanted to have a children's table so that moms could shop uninterrupted while their kids are entertained. And being affordable was very important to us as well. We want everybody, no matter what their pocketbook, to feel like they can come into Style and Soul Boutique and find something beautiful that they can afford. We're so grateful that we've been able to grow so much that we can support other women entrepreneurs in Lake County, such as Flicker Sticks Candles, Wild Bee Creations, Aloha Organics, and Bottle Rock Candle Studios, just to name a few. Our target market, so roughly women ages 20 to 70 years old, just like us. They're moms, they're active, they're family-oriented, they're trendy, they're budget-conscious, and they care about community.
So Lake County needs more shopping options beyond just women's clothing. Our number one request is children's clothing. We would love to expand to include a children's clothing boutique. However, we find trouble in expanding because Crystal and I wear too many hats. It's very hard for us to find a good work-life balance at this point. If we could delegate some of our roles, we believe that we could expand into more locations around the county. Our goal is to make Lakeport a shopping destination for the county. In the last year, we've grown from 2 to 7 employees. We create jobs, we generate tax revenue, and we would like to expand our team to include the following. A social media and marketing manager, a data entry and inventory control manager, an email marketing and e-commerce manager, and a store manager that could handle employees, scheduling, and HR duties.
As a small business, we have faced many challenges: fires, evacuations, power shutoffs, and then a global pandemic. I remember the day that the officer came into my Lakeport boutique and handed me an order to close my doors. As he handed me this order, he said, "I am so sorry, I really don't want to do this, but unfortunately you do have to close your doors to the public right now." I took that order from him and I sat down and cried. This was our dream. I feel like we had just gotten started and I didn't know what we were going to do. But Kim and I knew that we had to fight. We put together a plan to drive traffic to our already established Shopify website through Facebook Live shopping events and social media posts. We got into our cars and we hand-delivered orders to people's doorsteps ourselves, and we also enabled curbside pickup at the boutique as well.
At the onset of the shelter in place, I calculated 68 days until bankruptcy based on what was in our account and what was coming out every day from our lenders. It took me almost 2 weeks to get stop payments on all of the people who could automatically debit our account. We also liquidated our inventory at that time at about 50% of retail cost, which meant we didn't have any capital to reinvest. I took advantage of the pandemic assistance programs. We got an EIDL loan, 2 rounds of PPP, and the Cal Grant, as well as refinancing our existing private loan. This enabled us to expand our team and invest in our inventory, which resulted in a huge rise in sales. We know very well that it takes money to make money. In the last year, we've grown so much that we were able to expand and open a second location in Hidden Valley. So these are our yearly gross sales over time in the line graph. As you can see, there are 2 pretty obvious down spikes, both of which correlate with a major disaster, the fires in Napa, and then the global pandemic. Each time we were able to regain our ground and come out stronger than before. Both times we followed it with opening a second location even. Our gross sales have grown exponentially every year, with the exception of 2020 for obvious reasons. In 2021, year to date, as of a month ago when I made this graph, we were at roughly $400,000 in gross sales, but we project that we will round the year out at about $550,000 in gross sales. Currently, our payroll averages about $6,000 a month. Our fixed overhead expenses, such as rent, utilities, and insurance, are about $5,000 a month. Shopify, loyalty, marketing, and other expenses are about $3,000 a month. Digital marketing starts at $1,500 a month. Our monthly inventory costs are actually about $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the month's gross before, which averages anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. We base our inventory investment on replenishment.
In addition to payroll and overhead being our highest expense, marketing is very expensive. We would love a marketing budget to expand across Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, our email marketing, our loyalty text, and an app to bridge the gap between travelers, Lake County, and our boutique.
In conclusion, if we can expand our team and invest in marketing, we believe we can put Lake County on the map for fashion. Eventually, we would like a separate inventory for our website, a warehouse for that inventory, and a children's clothing boutique, all of which would create jobs and generate tax revenue, which boosts the local economy. We thank you so much for your time and consideration, and we look forward to working with you all in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, first I congratulate you on making it through the pandemic and come roaring back. It looks like your sales are, that's really impressive to me. I don't know a lot about women's clothing, but I know that you can't really buy men's clothing in Lake County. So I'm sure there's probably the same thing on the women's side. Have you got any projections on what you think would happen in terms of your sales when you open the children's boutique?
So based on the number of requests, and depending on the size of the space we're able to house it in, I would say roughly $20,000 to $30,000 a month would be a good estimate. I've watched our sales over the 5 years. I'm really good with numbers in that way. And even in our newest location in Hidden Valley, which is very small, we're grossing over $20,000 a month. We have mixed in some mommy and me, and the children's side of that flies out the door. Mm-hmm. So and like I said, every day we are missing sales because there are young women, young girls coming in with their moms who want to shop, and we don't have enough for them. So I do think that if we opened a store specific to children's clothing, it would do very well, especially considering these requests started when Kmart closed. There is nowhere locally other than going all the way to Walmart and maybe a few little sprinklings that are housed in other retail locations, such as like our boutique, having like a small selection. So I think if there was something dedicated to children's clothing, it would gross just as much as, say, our Hidden Valley location, at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Can you walk me through your timeline for how you would use the award money and what the priorities are? I think I'm hearing people in marketing, but I'm
Yes.
looking for like the prioritization.
Can I enter? Sure. I just wanted to throw in, I do have an idea of that too. I think that ideally we want to start with marketing. I think that marketing is huge for us. I think our Shopify website has incredible potential, and there are so many travelers who come through the area. They don't want to sign up with our loyalty program because they're just not from the area. We want a way to bridge the gap between Lake County and travelers and our boutique. So I think marketing would help a lot in that area.
Yeah, and specifically there's an app we're working on that these travelers could sign up for that would enable them to shop directly to our website. I do feel like we miss a lot of retention because we don't have a way to keep them. As far as marketing expenses, we have a really small budget for Facebook and Instagram ads, but when we do throw some money at it, it results in a huge drive to our e-commerce. We just haven't had enough money to consistently do that advertising. So we do believe in online marketing and advertising.
And then we would want to expand our team kind of at the same time, because it is very hard for us. I mean, we're running our boutiques just ourselves. We have 7 employees, but all of the behind the scenes, all of the buying, all of the social media is run by us. We're stretched so thin, we're making schedules. When our girls are sick or can't work, we're working in the boutique ourselves. So we just feel like our boutique is like taking on a life of its own, and we're struggling to keep up with that. So it really, I think a lot of the important areas that help us grow kind of fall in the cracks.
Yeah, hand in hand with the actual marketing are positions. So somebody who manages your email marketing and social media marketing, such as, when we talked to Tisha Reyes, she was very clear, we needed SEO optimization. We need a team to do that. And that's what we meant by it starts at $1,500 a month and it goes up from there. We just signed a contract last week actually with Bicoastal Media, which included some SEO optimization with a digital ad and radio ad. It was somewhat within our budget because it was about $650 a month for a year. And that's kind of the first big jump we've taken in that direction locally.
And then one more quick question. I think it was before you guys were there, so you may not know, but I believe there was a children's boutique just down the street from you guys that didn't make it. Do you have, other than folks coming in and asking, do you know what
So I think you're talking about the one that was in the little shopping center as you first come down from Hamburger Hill. That's the only children's clothing boutique I know of.
No, it was just on the other side of the courthouse square. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I actually met that woman's husband. He came into the store and he did tell me about that. And I think that was a few years ago. He said that she struggled to keep the doors open because I think the county at the time, I think Kmart was her biggest competition.
Okay.
They would ask her, why should we pay these prices at this kid's boutique when we can go to Kmart and get a good deal? So I do think that with Kmart closing, there really isn't any other options. And also, I think our main focus is to be, we would sprinkle in a bunch of sizes, but tween sizing is what we're getting the most requests for. And now that we have Hidden Valley, I think a huge revenue will come from Hidden Valley. They're asking all the time for kids' clothing in between 8 years old and 12 years old. We thought it was younger than that, but it's actually not really. We're not getting a huge request for baby clothes. We're mainly getting tween requests. So I think that would help us.
Well, I give you credit for being so successful in the last few years after everything life's thrown at us between fires, power shutoffs, and pandemic. Yeah, it's been really tough in retail. Mm-hmm. So at the two sites you have now, if you start doing like children's clothing, is that going to take a lot of the space away and reduce the inventories that people, so they'll have less choices for women's clothing?
So that is actually one reason we haven't done that. What we realized, especially coming out of the pandemic, when we were able to invest so much capital into the inventory, was that the more options we give women, the more money they spend. I really don't want to take much space away from our existing locations. We tried that with the Mommy and Me, and some of, like I said, some of the children's clothing moved, but the mommy stuff kind of, took a while. We do think we need to designate a space solely to the children's clothing, which is why eventually we would like a children's clothing boutique.
No, okay, so just a third site, just strictly
A third
for
site,
children.
yes.
Yeah, okay.